Well, there is no doubt woke ideology has infiltrated our schools and preschools, from children being told to say sorry to the stolen generation to woke gender curriculums. They are being indoctrinated. And now a council-run childcare centre in Sydney is teaching toddlers about Pride Month, including celebrating LGBTI diversity, rainbow painting art and dress-ups in gender equity. The Northmead Redbank Early Learning Centre, operated by the Parramatta Council, caters for babies from 6 months old to preschoolers, and told parents it wanted to be promoting inclusion and embracing diversity during this celebration. Joining me now is Kevin Donnelly, Senior Research Fellow at Australian Catholic University. Good to see you, Kevin. Thanks for joining us. Look, whatever happened to just letting kids be kids, playing, running around, having fun? Now we've got babies aged from 6 months being indoctrinated into this culture.
It's appalling, Danica, and as you know, I've written about this a lot over the last 8 or 10 years. I mean, back, say, 2 years ago, I wrote a lot about safe schools. That was a gender fluidity program that was going into primary and secondary. But even I'm shocked, and I shouldn't be, by the way, because this is the way they're operating now. The cultural left have now taken that debate about gender ideology, about the LGBTQI plus people. They're now indoctrinating toddlers. I mean, these children, many of them don't know how to do their shoelaces. They don't know how really to interact with other children. What they're doing is destroying the innocence of childhood. And as a parent, I'm appalled. As a teacher, I think it's disgraceful.
Well, it is disgraceful. 6 months old, it's just ridiculous. And the scary part about this is that parents have no say in what's being taught.
You're right again, and I mean, I looked very closely at the federal government, the Commonwealth government. They have a web page about well-being and wholeness and all of this new age progressive stuff. And there are resources there that actually say, and I'm talking about schools now, that teachers don't have to tell the parents if their child wants to transition. If the child wants to change his or her name, parents don't have to be told. So it's getting to a stage now where the government, the state, through the education department, is really denying parents the right they have over their children's identity, the way their children are raised. But it's part of this cultural left ideology, this woke ideology, which is about destroying the family as most of us knew it. I mean, our children, we read them Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, Jack and the Beanstalk, but now they're taught all of this binary, that you're heteronormative, that you have to be fluid, boys can be girls, girls can be boys, and parents have to say enough is enough.
Well, they say it, parents do say it, and it's just the education system says, no, we've got to, be fair on everyone. It's the tiptoeing culture that we constantly see, Kevin. Now, I want to ask you about a new report by the Centre for Independent Studies, which has found that people who are struggling with maths are not getting the help early enough, which is causing them to fall further behind. Now, we're talking about as many as 400,000 or 10% of students here. That seems like a lot of students needing help.
Again, you're right. And there was another report in the papers today in Victoria, how the government has spent millions of dollars over the last 3 or 4 years to give these children, whether it was numeracy or literacy, to give them extra help. And the Auditor General found that the program hasn't worked. So we've spent all this money, but the standards have not improved. And part of the reason is, in primary school, a lot of teachers, for whatever reason, are not confident to teach mathematics. And that goes back to teacher training, obviously. But also in Australia, we adopted what the Americans called fuzzy mathematics. So we moved away from memorising times tables, doing mental arithmetic, all the things you need to do to hardwire the brain, if you like, as a young child. We had this creative, holistic approach where teachers are facilitators, They don't actually structure the lesson. And it doesn't surprise me that so many young children are going from primary into secondary school behind the eight ball, as it were, and they're children who often find it very difficult to catch up.
It's concerning. Now, elite private schools are exempting poorly performing students from national NAPLAN tests in a bid to improve their overall scores. What's happening here? Is that allowed?
It is actually. I mean, I looked at the ACARA website again today, and NAPLAN is not compulsory. It never has been. Parents, if they like, can withdraw their children. Now, I think that's a mistake. Every parent should want to know if their child is doing well or not doing well. And if they're not doing well, then the parent can go up to the school, talk to the teachers, actually do a lot of work at home as well. I mean, parents have a responsibility here to help their primary children in particular. So it doesn't surprise me. But the issue here is that parents need to take responsibility. And also, it's government and non-government schools where this problem is arising of not enough students sitting the test. But we have to understand that the Australian Education Union, for the last 10 years, has argued get rid of the test. What they argue is you need more money, more teachers, more resources, get rid of the testing, which is wrong as well.
It's extraordinary. Kevin Donnelly, we have to leave it there. Thanks so much for joining us this evening on the show.